Hi, Stories Channel here.
And today we are going to take a look at a 2005 Korean thriller film called The Bow. As the movie begins, an old man sticks an object into his bow and plays it like a violin. A girl is sitting in front of him, smiling, listening to him play. The scene switches to two men who are fishing in a boat. The girl goes to them and sets their drinks beside them. One of the men grabs her by the hand and asks her how old she is. However, the only response he gets out of her is a smile. The other man sits her in his lap and talks to her. The girl again gives no response and continues to smile. The men start laughing and groping her. The old man watches this from his cabin. He shoots an arrow between the men and they stop immediately. The girl pulls the arrow and goes back inside the cabin. One of the men explains to the other that the old man has kept this girl on this boat for a long time and he intends to marry her when she turns 17. He further explains that the old man can tell fortunes. A moment later, he approaches the old man and asks him if he can read his fortune. The old man agrees. He ties colored stripes of cloth to the girl's wrists and makes her swing in front of the picture of a Buddha made on one of his boats. As the girl swings, he shoots arrows at the picture behind her. The girl seems unintimidated and keeps smiling as the man shoots the arrows. After 3 arrows have been shot, the girl pulls the arrows from the picture and whispers something in the old man's ear. The old man goes to the man who requested him to do this and whispers something in his ear. Upon hearing his fortune, the man gets enraged. He starts yelling and throwing insults at the old man, but the old man pays him no heed. The old man later takes these men back to the city in a smaller boat, leaving the girl in the bigger one. The old man returns a while later and the girl welcomes him with a smile. At night, the man gives the girl a bath. After this, he sits on the edge of his boat and plays music on his self-made violin. He returns to his cabin to see the girl sleeping soundly in her bed. He goes to a calendar hung on a wall and flips a page to see "Wedding Day" written above one of the dates. He smiles and crosses a day from the calendar, indicating that he's impatiently waiting for his wedding day. Then he goes to bed and holds the girl's hand as he sleeps. The next morning, the girl awakens to see the old man leaving. She smiles and returns to her cabin. She finds a meal that the old man has prepared for her and eats it. She spends the rest of her time playing around in the boat as she waits for the old man. The old man later brings a few boxes and a couple of men from the city. The men get on the main boat to fish. As the old man takes the boxes out of the boat, a pair of shoes falls out. The old man picks it up, seemingly displeased that the girl saw it. He takes these things inside and locks them away. While the men from the city are taking pictures, the girl starts curiously observing them. They tell her to come closer and sit with them. The girl complies. The men start touching her inappropriately. The girl tries to pull away but she's held down by the men. Scared, the girl slaps the man. Just then, an arrow comes flying towards the men and hits a spot between them. The old man comes out with his bow and takes the girl away. Having their ego hurt by this, the men start plotting revenge. When the old man is preparing his smaller boat to take the men back to the city, they attack him and tie him in a corner. After this, they go towards the girl. She hastily gets inside the cabin and gets on the top of the boat. When the men reach the top behind her, they see her standing there with the bow. She shoots at them and puts an arrow in both their thighs. Then she looks down at the old man and smiles. The next day, among the people the old man brings to the boat, the girl notices a teenage boy. She smiles at him as he gets on the main boat. Later, as the boy is listening to music on his headphones, the girl takes his headphones and starts listening to his music. The boy smiles and tries to talk to her, but the girl only gives a smile as a response. The old man observes this from his cabin. He comes out and angrily takes the girl away. That night, the boy sees the old man giving the girl a bath, and his jaw drops. The next morning, the boy discusses this with his father. His father tells him that the girl was found by the old man when she was 6 and she's never left the boat since then. The boy is extremely weirded out by this. Later, the boy's father asks the old man to read his fortune. The boy and his father thus witness the dangerous and weird fortune-telling technique of the old man. This further disturbs the boy. When the girl comes to see the boy off, the boy gives her his headphones and music player as a gift. This seems to make the old man unhappy. When the old man returns from the city later, he notices that instead of coming to help him unload the boat, the girl is listening to music. Enraged, he takes her headphones and breaks them. This angers the girl. The girl later notices the old man locking more things away. Apparently, he had been collecting all these things for their wedding day. That night, when the old man bathes the girl, she expresses her anger by acting distant and not letting the old man touch her. The next day, when the old man leaves for the city, the girl tries on the clothes he'd hidden away. When the old man returns from the city, he brings the girl a necklace and happily puts it round her neck. The girl angrily breaks the necklace and leaves. To make the old man even angrier, the girl goes to a man that had come from the city to fish and sits next to him. The man moves away a little, but the girl moves closer and grabs his arm. The old man is infuriated by this. He carries the girl inside and then roughly puts the man in the smaller boat. The man complains and tries to tell him that he didn't touch her, but the old man pays no heed and takes him back to the city. This goes on for a few days. The girl continues to act angry and distant, and the old man is irked by this. One day, the teenage boy returns to the boat to fish. This makes the girl extremely happy. She welcomes him on board with a smile and stays close to him. While she's taking pictures with the boy, the old man shoots an arrow near them. The girl takes the arrow back inside the cabin and breaks it in front of the old man. That night, the girl sneaks out of bed and goes to the visitor's sleeping area. There, she lays next to the boy and caresses his face. As the two are getting closer, the old man comes and sees them. Infuriated, he plans to take the boy back to the city in the dark of the night. The boy tells the old man that he's selfish for trapping a young girl on his boat for his greed. He says he will find the girl's parents and come back for her. The next day, the old man starts shooting arrows at all the people who had come to his boat for fishing to scare them away. Scared, they all get in one of his side boats and flee. The girl also attempts to escape in one of the side boats, but the old man sees this and stops her. Worried she might actually run, the old man converts their bunker beds into a single bed and tears away the calendar, indicating that he no longer wishes to wait. That night, a storm hits and everything inside the boat starts shaking violently. The old man holds the girl in his arms during this, and both of them make it out of this violent storm alive. The boy comes to the boat once more. He shows the old man a missing persons poster and tells him that the girl's parents are looking for her. But the old man crumples up the paper and throws it away. The girl grabs the paper and looks at it. The boy explains that she needs to go back to her parents and see the outside world. The old man is enraged by all this. He begins to shoot arrows aimed right at the boy. However, the girl intervenes and stands in front of him. The look in her eyes prevents the old man from shooting more. That night, the old man again tries to hold the girl's hand while sleeping, but the girl pulls her hand away. The old man tries again, but the girl again refuses to hold his hand and sits up in bed. The man tries to force her to lay back down. Annoyed, the girl pushes him away and slaps him across the face. The next day, while working on the boat's engine, the old man ends up hurting himself and starts bleeding. The girl tries to wipe his blood with a cloth, but the old man pushes her hand away. When she tries again, he starts slapping her continuously. The boy quickly pulls the girl back. He angrily tells the old man that he snatched the girl away from her parents and has ruined her life. With this, he takes the girl away. The boy then asks the old man to tell him his fortune. He says he wants to know if he'll leave with the girl or if the girl will marry the old man and live with him. The old man looks at the boy with fury in his eyes. The boy challenges him and tells him that he's scared. To prove him wrong, the old man begins his weird ritual and starts shooting arrows at the swinging girl. The rage in the old man's eyes worries the boy, and he notices that the old man is actually trying to hit the girl. As the third and the last arrow is let loose, it lands dangerously close to the girl and she falls into the water. The boy helps the girl up. She pulls the arrows and whispers something into the man's ear. The man, in turn, whispers something unknown into the boy's ear. A moment later, the boy goes to the old man's cabin and tells him that he will leave with the girl the next morning. The old man unlocks the cabinet where he'd kept all the things for his wedding and starts throwing all the girl's things outside. Seeing the anger and sadness on the old man's face makes the girl unhappy. At night, the boy notices that the girl is sad and tries to comfort her. The girl pulls away and goes to see the old man, who's sitting on the floor near all the things he'd collected for his wedding. The next morning, the boy and the girl get on a side boat and start their journey to the city. The old man makes a noose out of the boat's rope and puts it round his neck. As the boat is taken away by the teenagers, the rope tightens around the old man's neck. The girl notices that something is keeping their boat from moving forward. She realizes what's happening and panics. She immediately chops off the rope and takes the boat back to the old man. Her heart breaks when she sees the old man's condition. This event melts her heart and she decides to marry the old man. The two perform all their traditional rituals and marry. After this, they leave in one of the boats. Once the two are alone, the old man and the girl remove their wedding gowns. After this, the old man begins to play music. The girl enjoys the music for a while and then falls asleep. Once she's asleep, the old man shoots an arrow into the air and commits suicide by jumping into the water. While passing by their boat, the boy notices that only the girl is on the boat. Suddenly, the sleeping girl's body starts moving as if an invisible person is making love to her. The girl starts moaning and breathing raggedly. The boy gets worried and quickly goes towards her. The arrow set loose by the old man earlier hits the boat right between the girl's legs. The boy nears the girl and worriedly asks if she's okay. The girl wraps her arms around him tightly and keeps moaning. She stops after a while and goes back to sleep as if nothing happened. The boy notices that the girl is bleeding down there, indicating that the old man's soul has somehow taken her virginity. The girl wakes up a moment later and pulls the arrow from her dress. The boy starts the boat and takes it towards the city. However, the old man's boat starts following theirs. This horrifies the boy. However, the girl remains calm. She smiles as if nothing strange is happening. She waves at the old man's boat and the boat sinks. The teenagers leave as the old man's ship is slowly engulfed by the water. With this, the movie ends. Thank you so much for watching.